I love looking at history. We kind of know what's going to happen with AI because this happens with every single form of technology that is ever released. There's something called a Perez Cycle, where basically adoption of technology changes over time. What happens in the first stage is called the installation phase. That's when everyone gets the stuff. The second stage is the deployment phase. That's when people understand what it means. We have this kind of period between the two, which is a tipping point. So before the tipping point, there's all this disruption. People are really crazy. No one knows what's going on. Then there's a frenzy. Everyone jumps on it. Everyone talks about it at every single bloody conference. Then there's this point where there's a synergy. People make sense of it. They begin to understand it. And then there's maturity, which is when we get some sleep. It normally takes about 20 years for each of these phases to happen. This will probably happen a little bit more quickly, but not a lot more quickly. This idea that the pace of change is accelerating isn't particularly true. What we do is in the first stage we add. When a technology comes along, we have no idea what to do with it. We have no understanding of what it means. And the only way that we can comprehend it is to add it to the existing ways of doing things. And it's quite a fun time, but nothing profound really changes. It's the second stage. It's when we rethink what we're doing, which is when the value is unleashed. Again, this happened with every single form of technology. This probably happened with fire. It probably happened with the wheel. It definitely happened with electricity. Again, I love what Wouter said before. I love the language about rewire, because electricity is the best metaphor that we have for AI. The very first things that we did with electricity were quite boring. We invented the iron. We invented the light. We invented the fan. We invented the oven. These were all things that existed before. It took a lot of money and a lot of persuasion to get people to buy an electric iron because it wasn't that much better than an iron. Then we made brand new things. We made the radio. We made the TV. We made the microwave. We made the microwave dinner. We kind of invented the telephone based on electricity. It was a completely different mindset to what we could do and what we could create and how people would behave. So the first stage was boring. The second stage was amazing. The same thing happened with factories. I've only got 25 minutes. Normally I talk about this for about 20 minutes, but I can't today. But factories completely changed when we rethought how factories operated around the power of electricity. That's for another day. So if there's one thing you're going to remember from this part, it's that technology happens in two phases. And the first stage we add to what we've done before, and the second stage is when we rethink, and it's the second stage which is a lot more fun.